D responding to Douglas High School. Remain on this channel. Copy 94, 1443. I'll be responding to Douglas. Copy 2258, 1443.
Now, please welcome an actress who made her Broadway debut in Golden Child, Carnegie Mellon University alumna Ming-Na Wen.
To recognize arts educators nationwide, the Tony Awards and Carnegie Mellon University co-created the Excellence in Theater Education Award. Earlier tonight, the award was presented to Melody Hertzfeld, the director of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School Drama Department in Parkland, Florida.
We will interview every single student or every person in that school that possibly knew something or might not know they know something. They will be thoroughly debriefed, and we will make sure that we're able to prosecute this case. The suspect's been charged with 17 counts of premeditated murder, and law enforcement will do everything we can, the FBI, ourselves, to make sure that this person is convicted of all charges and that justice is served. If you're an elected official and you want to keep things the way they are and not do things differently, if you want to keep the gun laws as they are now, you will not get re-elected in Broward County. My message to the community, to Broward County, is simple. Your elected officials, your commissioners, your state reps, your state senators, make sure these are people that aren't worrying about millage rates and saving money. This is a time to save lives. We need more law enforcement. We need more deputies. This isn't the time to worry about how many dollars might be saved if we don't have a deputy here or a police officer here. This is nationwide. We need more heroes, more first responders, not less first responders.
The school day was just starting when police swarmed Taravella High School after a report there was an intruder on campus.
Look at all these cop cars. They got a SWAT team, a K-9 unit. They're loaded with ARs and shotguns. And he ain't going nowhere.
As word of a code red spread, anxious parents crowded in front of the school, frustration building by the minute.
Like, this is probably going to be my little girl's last day of this school. You know, I'm done with school. All these kids that live in this community, man. It's been a year of, you know, just anxiety and stress, and they do these code red drills every single week, you know, and it stresses the kids out. But now something happens, and it's like you take 20 minutes to stand there and talk about it. Come on, let's go.
So let me give you some details. Sheriff's deputies directed teachers at a Twin Lakes school, Corporation Elementary School in Monticello, Indiana, into a room 4 at a time, told them to crouch down, and then shot them execution style with pellets in rapid succession. Investigators came across some correspondence between a member of the NRA and a conspiracy theorist. The NRA individual in this story is Mark Richardson, and apparently, according to the Huffington Post, NRA officer Mark Richardson emailed Wolfgang Halbig, and that's the conspiracy theorist, a noted harasser of parents of Sandy Hook Elementary School victims, to float a conspiracy theory about the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, where 17 people were killed last year. So they have the emails, and you can read the email for yourself. So here's what Mark Richardson had written. Just like Sandy Hook, there is so much more to this story. The Parkland shooter was not alone.
An Uber car dropped off the suspect at 2019 yesterday.
Honestly, a lot of people were saying that it was going to be him, stuff like that. We threw a lot of kids threw jokes around like that, saying that he was going to be the one to scoot up the school. But it turns out, you know, everyone predicted it. That's crazy.
Well, he must have come onto campus then, right?
Yeah, he was on the 3rd floor. He knows the school layout. He knows where everyone would be at as of right now. He's been in this fire drills. He's prepared for this stuff.
One patient with GSW to the side, and what's their location?
That one should be at the football field.
Do you know?
4 to 5 patients. One with GSW to the thigh, leg.
10-4, and all of those patients are on the football field? Okay.
That is where one location is located. They're spread out throughout the school. We've got the patient loaded. We're going to get him out of here. Be advised, he's stating there are multiple people shot inside the building.
Understood, Chief. We got a one patient that's in rescue 109 right now, and we'll wait for your next one to come out here to the intersection. We'll have another rescue for.
Usually whenever a fire alarm goes off, it's usually just like culinary, an accident or nothing, but it was really odd to have 2 fire alarms in one day.
Ethan True is a senior at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. He says Wednesday he was on the other side of the school next to the garden when the fire drill started. He says at first everyone lined up outside as normal, but then they were pushed further away toward the fence near a local middle school. And he says that's when he saw Nicholas Cruz walk right by him.
I remember seeing Nick Cruz walk past me. He was looking down, you know, it was around 3:20, I guess, and he walked right past me. And my friend Alexa and I, we noticed him, and he walked right past me. And my friend Alexa and I, we noticed him, and he walked right past me. And my friend Alexa and I, we noticed him, but we didn't really say much. And apparently he greeted, like some people greeted him, and he greeted back as normal. My friend Alexa and I, we noticed him, but we didn't really say much.
This is 43.
I'm going to go ahead and put it to a level 2 MCI, so send me the complement of units necessary to accomplish that. I also really need a dedicated dispatcher on one, please. This is going to be a big event.
I actually have some friends who are in the senior class who they ran out when they heard the shooting. I think that they were on the other side of the building, like not close to the freshman building, so they actually could run out, and they were like running to Walmart. And the shooter was, when he finished whatever he was doing, he was actually running with the crowd, and he happened to be with them, and he told them, he was like, guys, like, we gotta run faster, we gotta get out of here. This is what I heard that he told my friend, and my friend was like, yeah, this is crazy, like, I can't believe someone would do this. And Nick Cruz was like, I know, but we just gotta keep moving. And they were talking to him and saying, like, he was saying, what are you guys gonna do for college? And then when they asked him, he said he was going to trade school, and he was just acting like he just didn't kill 17 people and injure people with a gun in the school, and he didn't just create a huge thing that's never going to go away. And
I couldn't process through the days. Like sometimes I'd be like really sad, or I wouldn't eat, or things like that, and it just kind of, it put like a super giant mental block over everything.
And see if I can have somebody out there contact all the area hospitals. Just let them know that we have an incident, and we may be sending patients in all directions so that they start preparing for it. Trauma centers especially.
10-4.
97, we're available for training as needed.
7.
Reports available as needed.
10-4.
Bro, what the? I know you guys hear that.
97, we're available for training as needed. 97, we're available for training as needed.
I saw when you spoke to our news anchor, Jeff Glor, you talked about your son being an activist, not a victim, an activist. And you point out that he wrote about this very thing years before the shooting just a year ago. Can you talk about that letter that you shared with Jeff Glor?
Patricia found that letter because something that we have done is getting used to not having your son at home anymore. You go through his things, and it's a way to be close to him. Patricia found that letter. She called me immediately. Hey, listen, I just found this. It's a letter that Joaquin wrote to the gun owners, basically to the gun lobby, demanding that we should have universal background checks. This was 6 years ago. Joaquin was 12 years old.
Now I'm going behind the cover. Bye, guys.
It sounds like somebody in the bathroom.
Shh. That smells like fucking gunshot.
It doesn't, right? Yeah. What the fuck?
It's been a long road for Madeline Snyder's return to normalcy. The 18-year-old was inside the freshman building at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School when a gunman shot and killed 17 people on February 14th of last year. In the midst of the chaos, her teacher S.Lippel yanked Snyder out of the way as the gunman fired in her direction, saving her life.
Listen, you can send me some rescues this way. But as I said, our patient's reporting multiple.
Understood. This is the commander. We just got somebody to dedicate a village for you. I apologize for the delay. Did you need anything?
We're good for now. Just work on that MCI protocol and get the appropriate units here. We're going to need a lot.
71, do we need to try and make our way to the football field? Here, and I think we have access. Do you want us to head up to the football field?
Negative. Stage for a minute.
Yeah.
Come closer to the west side of the building if we need to. All right, Chief, due to the unsecureness of the scene, currently we're using the intersection as a patient drop-off point to rendezvous with the rescues. If we can continue to get them in the intersection, that would be best for us, unless you tell me otherwise.
Copy. I do have cover over here via several officers that are right at our point, so we do have cover over here for now.
We were coming out of the classroom because we heard shots, but then the fire drill came on, so we thought, oh, it must be just somebody was moving something heavy. It was like very rapid shots. And then when we were walking down the hall, I was waiting with my teacher, Miss Lippel, and I heard one shot, and then it hit the wall, and like the wall came down and was like coming on my leg, just like little bits of dust and stuff. And then I ran back into the classroom.
All right, Chief, I was talking to somebody here. You do want to use the intersection, or do you want to bring them the rescues down there where you're at?
Leave them where they are for now. However, I do have cover where we are. I've got several officers with long rifles as well as a concrete building.
And I heard one shot, and then it hit the wall, and like the wall came down and was like coming on my leg, just like little bits of dust and stuff.
I grabbed the handle with both hands, and that's when I got nicked. I grabbed the handle with both hands, and that's when I got nicked. I grabbed the handle with both hands, and that's when I got nicked.
To access the football field on the west side of the school for transport of patients in and out.
Another patient intersection.
All right, the school staff keeps bringing them to the intersection, so I want to stick with that for now. We are getting multiple patients brought to the command post. Also, if anybody's in contact with PD, we're going to need a perimeter around the school. We have parents running in the building. Go ahead.
All right, we got our patient loaded. They're en route. Do you need me to relocate to the command post?
Okay. I do need you here, unless you have an assignment there. We do have multiple patients walking up to the command post at this point.
And I heard one shot, and then it hit the wall, and like the wall came down and was like coming on my leg, just like little bits of dust and stuff.
Station to command, I got a third one coming your way.
Copy, coming your way.
Up to any available rescue monitoring this channel. Make your way up to the intersection. I need you up here now.
Okay, copy.
And I heard one shot, and then it hit the wall, and like the wall came down and was like coming on my leg, just like little bits of dust and stuff.
Make this a level 3 MCI. And when you go through that protocol to get more units here, make sure that the county's assisting you with getting as many rescues here as possible.
I grabbed the handle with both hands, and that's when I got nicked. I grabbed the handle with both hands, and that's when I got nicked.
The suspect then took the west stairwell to the second floor and shot one victim in room 1234 on the second floor. The suspect then took the east stairwell to the third floor. He dropped his rifle and backpack, ran down the stairs. He exited building 12 and ran towards the tennis courts.
I know you told me you didn't know the guy who was shooting and you hardly saw him, but of what you saw, can you tell me what you saw? You didn't know him?
It was just a split. There was like two people run past and it was just black. I couldn't see anything. And the slit that I was looking through was so thin that it was just like, right, like 1, 2.
Was he saying anything? Was he
I just
screaming?
heard laughing. I heard laughing.
Laughing?
Right when they walked through the door, and then I heard people run down the stairs, and then that was it for a little while, and then it was just somebody screaming, "Help me."
No, they're not fucking around. I put your phones down and listen to every fucking word they say. Do not dick around with them right now.
You okay? Why are people screaming?
There's
Why are people screaming? Because people pulled out their phones. Do what they say. Don't.
Why are they screaming?
They're screaming because people are calling people and like they're like no, because they might think like they're involved.
Oh,
so just do what they say. Don't pull out your phone.
Okay.
Don't put your phone.
I look up from underneath, from behind this wooden podium that I'm now hunched over, and I see him. He's standing there in the window. Doesn't say anything. He's adjusting something, but he's just looking in, peering. He was wearing like a white shirt, like an artillery vest. I didn't actually know what gun that he had. I remember describing it to the police as a shotgun because it was the kind of gun you hold with 2 hands. And like he clearly had like some like he had a broken arm or sprained wrist or something you could see on his, and had a pair of glasses as well, like the classic school shooter look. Honestly, he looks into the classroom, says nothing, walks to the next one, keeps shooting the other classrooms. And I remember like looking up from the podium because I couldn't hear. I didn't know there was shots being fired, so I looked up and I looked in the window and I saw him like firing through the window. And then at one point he stopped firing altogether and just like peered in and looked in and then walked away.
Did you know who it was?
Not initially, no, because I was under the impression there was multiple of them because of how many shots were being fired. It wasn't until until I got to the hospital that I started making the connections, and then it clicked that it was Nicholas Cruz.